Hi, my name is Herb Ford. I'm with Crown Equipment Corporation, and I am a regional recruiter for U.S. sales. And our company, Crown Equipment Corporation, is a global materials handling company headquartered right in New Bremen, Ohio. We have about 17,000 employees across the world, actually. And we pretty much have, I would say, anywhere you have people, we have a Crown dealer or a Crown branch that is available. Right here in the United States, we have about 80 branches, close to 80 branches that we that are company owned, and we staff those. And so my job is to really assist with placing the right people in key seats so that our customers and clientele can be taken care of. Crown is a global leader in materials handling and warehousing solutions. So anything that has to do with a warehouse, we're able to really take care of that. So whether you talk about forklifts or pickers or conveyors, or you can talk about dock and door systems, Crown has really the #1 electric lift truck in America, probably top 5 in the world. And although we manufacture forklifts, Crown really is about people. And Crown focuses on being a great culture, which employees can really advance, have advancement opportunities, and really get professional development to take them wherever they want to go in their life. A typical day is comprised of really reviewing a daily schedule that would have, maybe pre-planned calls that you've already kind of scheduled, and then visiting those prospects while utilizing our robust CRM system to identify potential prospects in that area. Depending on the sales position, whether it's a aftermarket sales rep or a sales rep or even an account rep or an account manager, it would turn into maybe a product-related proposal or service-related proposal that the salesperson themselves would actually create right there or at a later date. And you put that information in the CRM, and though that's a typical day, Crown really is about relationships. So there are relationships that are being formed on a daily basis versus basically internal and external. And the salesperson with Crown, when they build these relationships, they really begin to open up a network to where we can communicate properly between each other and even to our clientele. Not at all. I mean, we primarily promote heavily from within, to be honest with you. It is quite possible for a person to start off in another area, say service, and really develop a competency in leadership and maybe learn our products. They can be working in a different department and make a decision to apply for a sales position without a business degree. This can happen by simply doing a great job where they are, and then a sales position may open up. This is not unusual for our company. And so that's why we love being a part of this. We love business majors. We love people with MBAs. We love people that have been there and done that as well. I have 2 master's degrees myself, but it's not always those kind of candidates that we are always looking for. We love people that have gotten a grasp of our company, and sometimes we transplant them. We got 80 branches, so they can go out and say, hey, I know I've been fixing forklifts over here. Let me try to sell some service on them, and then go from there. There's an immense amount of opportunities for you. Some of the entry-level positions that we have are sales rep as well as customer service and sales rep. And every once in a while, when we find that diamond in the rough, we can put a person in an account representative position. Right now, currently, because I recruit for the entire nation, there are positions right there at one of our 3 branches in the Los Angeles area. There's a aftermarket sales rep position available there. I got positions in Arlington, Texas, Columbus, Ohio, Boston, Massachusetts, North Carolina, Miami, Georgia, Atlanta. So there are a lot of opportunities stateside. We also have opportunities outside of the States, over in other countries, UK and Australia, New Zealand, but I recruit primarily here. So when we talk about Cal State Fullerton, we typically have our co-op programs and things like that you can be a part of. We have openings, out at the 3 branches I talked about there in, I think it's Ontario, Long Beach, and then I can't think of the other one, but we got one more, Laverne, and so we have those opportunities for you. things we look for, leadership is leadership, okay? And that's one of the things that we take a really good look at, and the ability to build something, okay? I know the world is so much different than, maybe when I grew up, or maybe Brad, maybe when you grew up, okay? But we look for a student that is an achiever and a person that works hard at doing things well, even though they may not be in their money-making years, or their large income-making years. If you were a lifeguard, if you were a person that was the head of a fraternity, or you were a person that, was the shift manager, at a restaurant, or whatever the case is, displaying leadership and creativity, as well as tenacity, can be seen in other areas. And we implore you to please make sure you grab a hold to those things and put those things in place where somebody can see it on your resume. Yes, and more yes, because it immediately identifies you as a potential candidate interested in some sort of business or professional sales. Sometimes just being in in marketing or something like that doesn't mean you necessarily want to be a salesperson or have an entrepreneurial kind of thing on you. But being involved is a very good practice, especially when you're trying to launch your career. Yes, 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 yes. Because the scenarios can be real life examples and really help you prepare for what you might experience in the real world. Sales is a competition, okay? So when I say that, sales is a competition. So the better you are in the competition, typically, the more sales you're gonna get in real life. Competition always helps you to get started, particularly early on in your efforts to learn about business. I remember, this is one of the ways, even in other sales positions that I've had, that role plays is what we did in order to get ready. Sometimes it was a scripted, whatever it was, and we had to do that. And other times it was not scripted. It was like on the fly. Do you have an answer for this objection? How can you identify what the real problem is? Can you get to the decision maker? So these things are really, really important. Winning a competition I don't even look at that kind of stuff on a resume. If you say you were in it, have competed in multiple sales competitions, or have competed under this particular program or this particular business fraternity, and all those things say leadership. All those things say it was important enough for me to sign up to be a part of it and prepare for it. So I better put it down on this piece of paper. And if you're going into sales, you want to make sure anything that you can put on there that distinguishes you from the pack, because it's a competition to get a job. You want to make sure that you put that down. So whether you won or lost, it doesn't matter. Put it on there. You participated. You just go to crown.jobs and identify what position you see there that might align with your skill set. I am also more than happy personally to connect with them on LinkedIn via email or inbox there to make them aware of opportunities around the country. We realize that there are students that live in different areas and may be willing to either relocate, students that may be willing to, students that may be willing to try something in a different area for a little while. But you would also need to make sure that you prepare an up-to-date resume that is clear, concise, and easy to read. I think it's also important that when you go to crown.com, which is different from crown.jobs, but crown.com, because there's going to be some research that you might want to do on the company just to find out a little bit about what material handling really means and what warehousing really means. I think LinkedIn is extremely important for students to be a part of. I work with several professional sales programs in universities throughout the country. And one of the things that I see is really lacking is when you're a part of a professional sales program or organization of some sort, that is a lot of times missing on LinkedIn applicants, on their LinkedIn resumes. And I think it's extremely important for you to have one and you engage with it as well. we'd love to get great applicants, entry level people. If somebody would just reach out to us and let us know you're available. Because you have to understand, when we do a search or a Boolean search for candidates that we perceive that we may want to have them, we're looking for territory rep, we're looking for account manager, we're looking for sales rep, we're looking for all of that. Okay, if you've never did that, how will we find you? You understand what I'm saying? So you want to make sure that you have one. You join sales organizations, follow certain companies so you can know what's going on. Follow crown.jobs. Why? Because it's letting you know when jobs are available and those kinds of things. And make sure that you have information that is up to date. You may be on there, and I'll just say this, you may be on there and there's an icon that doesn't have like the company you worked for. So if you worked at Joe's Pizza and it didn't, have an icon or something on there, just still put it down. The more information that we can find out about you, it's extremely important in making a decision to give you a call or reach out to you through an inbox email. The interview process usually begins with some type of phone screening or a connection with the, or some kind of connection even through the Sales and Leadership Center for helping to get interns and things like that. Then at least 2 additional interviews, during which time I'm sure there will be some type of sales personality profile test or something like that, given really to ascertain the applicant's personality traits and also their skill set for coaching purposes is one of the reasons we do that. Then if all things appear to be contingent, an offer is given, and then after the offer is accepted, a background check, drug screening is performed as well. Sometimes the process is a little bit longer, just depending on certain factors, but most of the time we try to get through it within a couple of weeks. I think it's important for them to get their feelers out, to make sure people know that they're available, know that they're graduating, know that they have an interest in the company and whatnot, because I think that's important. I think any kind of interviewing and mock interviews and all those kind of things, I think you should go through that. I think it's challenging to apply for positions that are not yet available yet, though. Okay, so for example, I do have a position in Arlington, Texas. Okay, you can apply for that position, but if you can't take it, then we're both wasting each other's time. And if I know that, that's kind of where that is. Now, some people may say, hey, get the interview experience, learn about it, and that kind of thing. I think for the most part, if a person was able to identify 50 or 100 sales questions, or sales interview questions from Google, okay, and found out what they were and did your best based on your knowledge and understanding. And again, most people in sales, they're just different by design, okay? Because you have to be able, if you say you want to be in sales, that means that rejection is not a problem for you most of the time, okay? You're wired a certain way, and I think that the more we can identify those traits, we know you got that for the most part, if you're even saying that you want to be a part of it. But I think that it is important to prepare as though you are going on a job interview, to prepare as though, I had a sales manager that told me years ago that chance favors a prepared mind. That's what they always say. And so I think that is extremely important as you launch out into your career, to make sure that you've dotted all the T's and crossed all the dotted all the I's and crossed all the T's, and found the questions. And it doesn't matter which one that you get. The reason why I say that is because all of them are going to flow into that. Questions about your motivation, questions about what do you think makes a great salesperson, questions about give me a time where you were in leadership and that kind of thing. Have you ever sold something? Sell me this pen. I mean, there are all kinds of things that you're going to encounter. But the best way I found is to make sure that you're just prepared by reviewing the information that you can find even on LinkedIn or mock interviews. And I think it really will prepare you for the next stage of your life. The ability to sell, influence, or persuade a purchasing decision is an excellent tool to start any business career with. Many times you are in any kind of business. I don't care whether right now I'm working as a recruiter and in HR. I have to go and I have to identify candidates, and I have to persuade them to say, though I'm working here, I'd like to come over and work here because of what you've been able to say to me. Or at one time when I was selling office equipment, the ability to convey to someone, you know what, that's a great piece of equipment you have, but it's 10 years old. How much more are you going to keep paying for service on that? How much more are you going to get paid? You know, how many times you're going to call the service guy before that thing's not working right? I got a brand new shiny one over here, and it's $25 less than what you've been paying a month. What do you think? I mean, the ability to persuade or influence a person's purchasing behavior is what you use in every form of business, and even some attorneys and doctors would like to know how to do that as well. So I think that's what I would say is why a student should start with a sales opportunity. It's so important while you are there at Cal State Fullerton to take full advantage of what is available to you through the institute that you guys are working with there and the Leadership Institute, because I think that when you're able to do that, you become ahead of the rest of the pack. You know, certainly Crown Equipment Corporation is a global leader in what we do. And so you just wanting to find out more about who we are, coming in for a visit, trying to find a way to sit down with somebody in leadership, identifying the opportunities that are there, putting yourself on some type of, you can sign, even right now, Brad, the students can actually sign up on crown.jobs to get alerts to let them know when job opportunities in sales are coming up. All these kinds of things, by listening to interviews and things like this, really help you to expand your mind and get you better prepared to tackle the adversity that you are going to face once they hand you that diploma. Because at that time, it's the real world and it's go. You broke the tape. Now let's get out there and do something positive for our communities.